I went in the bathroom. I took the test. We sat on the side of the bathtub for 2 minutes because you have to wait and waited for it to process. And then she looked at it before I did, and she turned around, looked at me with a very sad face, and showed me the test, and we both started crying because it came out positive.
Ellen Crossman was 19 years old when she got pregnant and says she never thought it would happen to her, especially at such a young age. Sue Johansson is a well-known sex educator and says this thought is very common in teenage girls. She was at St. Thomas on March 18th to give one of her comedic yet informative presentations on sex education.
Sex education, for one thing, because we're not dealing with the possibility of pregnancy. And it's not a possibility, it's a probability.
Birth control is very easily accessible, and Sue says that young girls should be sure to take all the necessary precautions.
We need to empower females so that they are absolutely, this is not negotiable. You will use a condom.
According to the New Brunswick Health Department and Stats Canada, around 19 out of every 1,000 teenage girls here in York County are or will become pregnant per year. This is compared to 24 out of every 1,000 in New Brunswick and around 13 per 1,000 in all of Canada. For single teen mothers like Ellen, the price of daily living comes with a great deal of stress.
I think the biggest challenge is going to be raising her on my own and paying for everything like rent, bills, food, her diapers, formula, wipes. It's going to become pricey, and also when I start going back to school, I'm going to have to pay for school and daycare or babysitters.
For a single-parent family, the average price of raising a newborn can reach upwards of $5,000 minimum per year. Without the monetary support of her family, Ellen worries about affording even the most basic necessities.
I was crying because I had to tell my parents, first of all, and last year my parents told me if I ever got pregnant that they wouldn't be there to support me, that I'd have to do it all on my own, and they wouldn't be there for me, they wouldn't help me in any way. So I was terrified to tell them, and plus I still had to tell the father.
Although Ellen was hoping to be able to rely on the father for support, he had different intentions.
Well, he, I guess, didn't want a kid, and he hasn't been around since. He's nowhere in the picture.
Despite knowing how difficult it will be to raise a child on her own, Ellen tries to remain positive.
Now that the shock is over, I'm 6 months, I'm having a girl, I'm going to name her Callie. I can't wait to have her, but even though I am excited, I would have rather waited until I was done school and had a job, but mistakes do happen, so I'm going to live with it.
For Stu Journalism, I'm Alicia Avon.